Welcome to the Rock Trading Communities video, and this is your test concept on volume spread analysis. And in this particular video we'll be learning about how testing takes place in volume spread analysis and different types of tests such as bullish test, bearish test and sideways test, and how to recognize tests and plan for bullish and bearish positions. This is just a simple concept, okay? It's not that effective, but definitely this can be actually helping you to recognize what's happening in the market, to understand the market in a very effective way. I'm just gonna give you the a theoretical and a practical knowledge of an idea how test is actually in the markets. Okay, now let's get back to the theoretical part first. The concept of testing the smart money's crucial and intermediate levels for the demand and supply in the markets is known as test. There are different types of testing takes place in the markets, but the overall concept of test is to check the presence of the opposition, that is buyers or sellers in the markets. What do I mean by different types of testing? Same as bullish, bearish, sideways test. Okay, this is something that's a kind of a little bit of advanced things you might be learning in the upcoming days, but right now you have to just understand the concept of test in the markets. Now let's get back to the practical part of the testing so that makes more sense than the theoretical part. Now I have marked a particular smart money's activity right here. Okay, there is a high volume activity and I just marked the high and low of the high volume activity right here. Now what happened? Market went up, okay, created a market went up for a while and then market came down for a particular test. There are actually two tests right here. One is a minor and a major trend. So what is a minor trend? This particular part is a minor test and this particular part is a major test. Okay, I can recognize it, but this is something you don't have to worry about it. Just understand the concept of test right here. So what it means, now understand the scenario right here. First thing, smart money's activity. Second thing, market went above the smart money's activity, right? Now market came back for the testing. Now this particular concept also called as retracement in price action traders. Okay, basically a lot of price action traders out there, they call it as retracement, but they don't know why retracement even occurs in the market. So that's the answer you're gonna get in volume spread analysis. Now the scenario again, smart money's activity, market is trading above the smart money's activity. It means that market is on a buying phase right here. So based on that you can recognize it. Okay, so now smart money is on the buying phase, so even I have to look at the buying positions right now. I have to look for buying opportunities right here. So based on that, even you have to shift your mindset, not just for selling. You don't have to sell above the smart money's activity. You have to buy above the smart money's activity and sell below the smart money's activity. That's the overall scenario right here. Now smart money is coming back right now. Now you tell me, smart money is all about testing the demand and supply right here. Now this particular area right here, do you think that smart money is testing supply or demand? It is actually testing supply right here. If the supply is reduced right here, then demand increases. That's how the smart money works. The law of supply versus demand, if you recognize in my basic series, that's how the things work. Right here, smart money is testing supply right here. If there is no supply, it means that there is no sellers right here to push the markets towards the lower lows right here. So that's how smart money recognize it, and based on that they will create a counter trend and market starts creating a higher highs right here. But there is more for this particular chart. Now look at this, the same chart. Okay, smart money came back for a testing. Now again there was no supply right here and market went up, and again market started creating a cause right here. Market was not sure. The smart money, probably they wanted more orders right here. They wanted more they want to absorb more and more orders right here for a good up move right here. So that's the reason they started creating a cause right here. Once the cause has been created, you can recognize that once a cause has been created, you will get an effect, right? I already teased you in the basic series. If you don't know what is law of cause versus effect, go and watch my previous basic series, and in the playlist section you're gonna understand that. Now the cause has been created. If the cause has been created right here, definitely you can expect a effect right here, right? Now market is testing again right here, the same levels, but you have to recognize one thing right here. Market is not able to break the lower lows of the area. So technically you have to understand that this entire area right here becomes your demand area right here, right? So this entire area becomes a demand area. So technically it's an entire area of resistance. So technically they're testing the sellers. Is there any sellers right here? If there were sellers, what would have happened? Market would have created lower lows, they would have gone down right here, but no, market is not even able to break the levels. Again and again they're testing the levels right here. Once they are confirmed there are no supply right here, then they start creating a higher highs right here. Now look at the charts right here. See, this is how they started creating a higher highs. I hope you understood this particular example. And look at this, the same chart, there's one particular pattern right here. If you know what this pattern is, kindly comment in the comment section so that you can so that other subscribers can know. If you know what VSA is all about, if you are my students, or if you have searched this particular pattern in the Google and so on, I'm really happy for you and learning constantly. This is supply got reduced right here. So this is a pattern which is supply is actually reducing. So you have to recognize what pattern is this. Now once it is done, market started creating with the confirmation, market started creating a sideways, and again markets went up right here. So that's a confirmation for this one particular chart. Now there is a second example right here. It's a Oro Pharma 1 hour time frame. Now there is a selling climax. So if you don't know what is selling climax, previously I made a selling climax video already. I got a really good response and I'm happy about it. It actually motivates me a lot to make more videos for you guys. So please keep supporting as much as possible. And right now there is a selling climax video right here, and go ahead and watch it. In the link will be in the description. And in this particular chart right here, there is a selling climax with signal of strength. Now I drawed the levels, smart money's activity, fine. Now what happened right here? Even this is a minor, you can consider this as a minor test. Okay, market went up, they tested a little bit demand, and then market went down. But the overall test right here is on a higher time frame. Now look what happened right here. Market came back again. They tested twice actually. Okay, they tested twice. In simple, you can say they retraced twice actually. They tested whether there are buyers or sellers right here. If there are buyers, what would have happened right here? If there was buyers, they would have gone on a higher highs right here, right? If there were buyers, they would have gone on a higher highs right here, definitely. So you could have created a buy positions after if there were buyers. If the demand increased right here, obviously they would have broke the smart money's activity right here. So based on that, they could have created a buy positions, but no, they were not able to break the high volume activity levels. So what happened right here? They tested again, twice they tested. Once they are sure that okay, there is demand is reducing, supply is increasing, it means sellers are entering the market slowly. Once they got a confirmation, literally till now market is still in a downtrend from 769 to 632 rupees till today. So now you think about it, how effective the test concept is right now. This is just basics, by the way. There are a lot of concepts in test itself, but I'm just giving you an overall understanding what test is all about. That's it. Okay, now is the same chart Oro Pharma but 1 day time frame for a good clearer view. Now look right here. Do you see a supply and demand divergence right here? That's the main question right here. Do you see a supply and demand divergence right here? If you see it, comment down in the below. Let me just know how many of you know what is supply and demand divergence, because there is no demand or there is no supply and so on right here. But definitely there is demand is being reduced and supply is being increased. And this particular observation you're gonna get with time. Okay, you have to practice a lot in terms of volume spread analysis, or you can join the courses, or you can just ask me more and more doubts and volume spread in WhatsApp, so that I can clear you. Even a lot of subscribers, they still ask me doubts and so on. So whenever I have time, I just reply them through the mail, or it's mostly through WhatsApp. So that's how it is. The more and more you practice, the more and more you're going to understand this. But even without a VSA pattern right here, I can clearly say that demand is reducing and supply is increasing. So based on that, I can recognize that this is a proper test, and test got confirmed and market is going on a lower lows right here. So that's one of the examples, and there's one more example right here. So what is this particular pattern? Actually, I already made a video. If you know this, it's called a Uptress pattern, right? So Optress, it's a upper bar with a high volume and with a selling tail right here, right? Definitely it's a selling tail obviously with the upper bar. So this is called signal of weakness. So technically, so after signal of weakness, market came down, fine. So when there is a weakness, obviously market will go down. But in this particular scenario, there were more number of buyers compared to the weakness. So market broke the levels right here. So the entire sentiment right here, okay, the entire phase of weakness has turned into strength right here. So what happens right here? Once market crossed right here, it means that it's a clear sign that market is in a buying phase right here. They still want to buy more and more. Probably they have more and more targets. So let's assume this is a 485, right? So what if they have a target of 500 and let's say 600 rupees? We don't know about it. But right now you have to understand right here. But market is in a still in a buying phase right here. Market came back again for a testing to test whether there are sub sellers or not. If there were no sellers, and guess what happened? Again, one more pattern right here. So what is this particular pattern? With the price and volume. It's a supply test. Okay, it's a supply test. Market came down, tested whether there is supply or not. If there is no supply, it means there are no sellers in the market. So based on that, the confirmation bar, they gave a confirmation bar, an upper bar with a good higher volume than the previous bar. And obviously, it got a good confirmation. This was a proper entry actually, to be honest, according to me. And guess what? You got a pretty good momentum towards the higher highs right here. I think it's great. Now, again, one more thing, upthrust bar, right? So in this upthrust is the proper upthrust. Okay, I love this particular thing. It's an upthrust bar. Obviously, market went up, created a high volume activity followed by a down bar. Perfect setup for an end sell trade. If you had taken this particular trade on a daily time frame, I'm sure you would have, definitely made a really good returns. But right here, market came back for a testing right here. Okay, once market came back for a testing, the demand reduced, supply increased, and test got passed right here with the confirmation. And guess what happened? Market went down from these levels. And right here, I just zoomed the same chart right here, and you can recognize what pattern is this right now. It's a demand test. Okay, demand test. Obviously, demand got reduced right here, followed by a confirmation bar's volume, which is increased than the previous bar. Obviously, market started creating a lower lows right here. So thank you so much. We'll see you in the next videos, and please subscribe and share as much as possible with your trading friends, because that motivates me to make more and more videos. And by the way, the more quality videos, okay? And I'm gonna bring more and more VSA topics, elite based topics, and even in the upcoming days I'll be making option selling topics, and I might be even live streaming and live trading with you guys. But if you would definitely want me to do that, definitely I need more subscribers so that I can have more viewers to explain and build a really good strong community where people can actually learn trading in a very simpler way, not just getting confused in the markets and in the internet. That's the reason. And thank you so much. We'll see you in the next videos. Goodbye.